What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review of Ready to Love Season 5 episode... What episode we on, child? Episode 8. Woo. We are coming to the end of this roll, honey. And so this week, it's a men's week. It's a women's elimination week. The men are in charge. And when they meet with... when they meet with Tommy, Tommy's like, listen, okay, it's curveball time, okay? And the curveball this week is, I want you to take the person that's at the top of your list, and I want you to introduce them to your ex. Now, let's be clear. This experiment, this little situation is done purely for the entertainment of us. Because there is no sound reason that I can think of that my ex ever needs to meet my current person to help me choose my next relationship, unless you and your ex are legit friends. And everybody doesn't have that. Like, I'm cool with my exes, but there's not one of my exes that I would invite and be like, so I want you to meet somebody I'm dating and tell me how you feel about them. Now, again, I know that there's some people that their exes are their best friends. But neither here nor there, again, this is totally a TV stunt, okay? And it's okay. We're going to live with it. We're going to deal with it. It is a TV situation, okay? So we, the first couple we see is Cornelius and Camille. And honestly, this is just, at this point, it's just a waste of energy because it's the same thing every week. So Camille comes into his house. First thing she notices is that there's another female pair of shoes sitting by the door. So then, of course, you know how she felt. She wasn't happy about meeting his ex. And I feel like she was answering them questions like a pageant, like a job application. And it was all about her spirituality and spiritually this and spiritually that and religious and faith. Because she's playing into what Cornelius wants, right? She's playing into his whole thing of... Cornelius was playing. He was playing into that. I mean, she was playing into that whole mindset of what Cornelius wants. Oh, he wants this, and oh, he wants that. So I'm gonna say what sounds good. Oh, it's all about faith and religion. She talked about the fact that she has a child, but she's never been married. She was like, well, because I date with intention, and it just didn't work out. I mean, things happen. And then she talked about the fact that she had been engaged 2 or 3 other times. Now, listen, I ain't gonna say that's necessarily a red flag. I mean, listen, we meet people and it don't work out. Like, she ain't married 4 other people. So clearly she figured out that something wasn't right before she made the commitment. So I'm not even, y'all know I don't even be giving Camille all of that. But I'm not going to necessarily say that's a red flag or that's a strike against her. Like, honestly, I'm not. Like, it's not, I'm just not going to do that. But what I am going to do is, again, I've said it for the last 2 weeks and I'm going to say it for the 3rd week straight. They need to just go. They're bringing nothing to the show. At this point, they're in their own dating show. Now, his ex was not impressed with Miss Camille. She felt like Camille was giving, like I just said, pageant answers, saying all the right things, but she ain't believe it. And you shouldn't. Now, that's how I feel about it. So then we have Phil with his ex, and he invited Shiloh and Tasia. Now, the reality of the situation is Tasia wasn't feeling it. Now, some of Tasia's concerns were valid. Others of her concerns were child Tasia being Tasia, okay? Her concern that was valid was if you're going to invite 2 women, then you put one on your left, you put one on your right. But the fact that the way we were sitting, I felt like I was a third wheel. I was a third party. I was the chick on the side, and I didn't like that because it was Shiloh and then me on the other end of the table. And so I 100% understood what she was saying. I mean, that's a minor thing, but when you're that third person, I can understand how you feel that way. As the conversation went on, Shiloh was asking some really good questions, some really, interesting points of view that she was coming from. But Tasia was irritated, and I feel like she never quite got in her groove with the whole conversation. And when the ex started asking her conversations, she kind of shut it down and was just like, listen, this is not what I mean, she didn't say it like this, but, this is basically what she said. listen, I ain't here for all of this. This ain't why I'm here. I ain't trying to be your friend. You are his ex, and I have no intention of building any type of relationship with you. So at this point, I'm just trying to get through this and get to the end of this evening so I can go home and feel how I feel about this situation. And to be honest with you, I like I said, it's part of the game. It's part of what it is. So I feel where she's coming from. But she kind of got a little snippy. I mean, his ex took it in stride, but she definitely got a little snippy. And I was like, ooh, okay. So then we had Dante. Yeah, then we had Dante who invited. I got my notes right here, child. Dante invited Zadia and Shiloh. And again, we are dealing with that ambush. I didn't know this was happening situation. And I said it last week. I feel like this is production to build up, to build up the angst, right? So Zadia gets there first, and she thinks it's just gonna be her, the ex, and Dante, which of course she already feeling some kind of way because the ex is there, which I would feel the same way. I would feel some kind of way if I rolled up and I think I'm going on a date with my man and his ex is sitting there. I would feel some kind of way as well. So I get that. And then here come Shiloh. I had to make sure I had the right person. Then here comes Shiloh. And so Zadia, just very similar to Sia, Zadia immediately has an attitude. And at the end of the day, Dante asked his ex, well, how do you feel about the two women? And the ex brought up a good point. She said, well, I feel like Shiloh was really trying to get to know you and trying to learn some things about you, whereas I feel like Zadia was trying to get to the dirt, trying to, well, what shouldn't I look out for? What's a red flag, And one of the things that she said his red flag was, if he stops being so touchy-feely. Like, he's very much a touchy-feely person, and if he stops feeling that, then he probably ain't feeling you no more. So I just thought it was very interesting. Like I said, Zadia last week at the women's lounge, she kind of popped off a little bit, and I'm just not sure why, but okay. So then we have Frank, Sydney, and Mumine. I think I'm saying her name right this week. Now, Mumine was like, listen, I see Sydney, and Sydney is a beautiful woman, but I feel like I got a connection with Frank, so I'm not even tripping. Now, production, y'all slipping, because allegedly and supposedly this was supposed to be a shot, and they ain't know they was meeting their exes, they ain't know what was going on. But Sydney showed up with a whole dissertation of questions to ask the ex and to ask Frank. So clearly you knew what the setup was. You clearly knew what the situation was, because why did you show up with 5,000 questions to ask? Okay? But neither here nor there. Sydney was asking the questions, and I found Sydney's answers to some of the questions to be very interesting. For example, they asked about children, and she said, well, I'm not really ready to have kids yet. I'm kind of looking a couple of years down the road, and maybe I'll have one then if the time is right. I think that was very interesting, because basically what that said to me was, I'm really not in any rush to get married, and I'm damn sure not in any rush to have children. And if I do have a kid, you might get one out of me. That's about it. So again, depending on what you're looking for. Now, if you're the type of person where none of that's a problem for you, cool. But if you're looking to start a family and you're looking to have more than one, maybe two children, Cindy might not be your girl. Remember, I said, Camille said earlier, dating with intention. That is what dating with intention looks like. It is an intention that at the end of this process, this damn alfalfa sprout I got going on my head. Okay. It is dating with the intention to find a relationship, to find a love, to find something or someone on the other side. And Frank, you have to be honest about what it is that you're looking for in a relationship if this is what you want. Now, on the other side, you have Mumine, who's like, listen, I don't come from a large family. I'm not really close with my family, so I'm definitely interested and ready to start a family of my own. I want kids. And, she was like, listen, I don't think you need forever. Like, you've been dating somebody for a year and a half. You know if that's the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. Like, it don't take all of that. That doesn't mean that you're ready to get married in a year. but you know that person might be the one. And so again, after they left, he was talking to his ex, and his ex was like, listen, both of them seem really nice, but but these are two totally different women, like two totally different personalities. And at the end of the day, I know you're ready to settle down. I know you're looking for that family unit. And so you have to figure out which person is going to give that to you. Now, I feel like she didn't want to come right out and say, girl, boy, Sydney ain't the answer. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Okay. Naeem and Zadia. Now, Naeem and Zadia have been vibing for a minute. I mean, Naeem is the person that Zadia chose to go meet her friends last week. He's asking her to go meet his ex this week. They've been out on a few dates. But listen, this is why this wasn't a good idea. That ex, Vanessa, she the only name I remember. Vanessa or Victoria. Maybe her name was Victoria. It started with a V. Showed up in that green jumper with that Valentino belt hoodie, and she was ready. Baby, she was, listen, Naeem, she still wants you. Look, this is a whole nother show right now. Naeem, she still wants you. She like you. She still wants you. I'm just telling you, listen, Naeem, come here, let me talk to you. She still wants you. She talking about some, well, he's not a very touchy-feely person. He ain't really a big cuddler. And Naeem was like, that's not true. And she was like, oh, I guess you just didn't want to cuddle with me. Oh, okay. I said, see, yeah. She still wants you. Then she was telling him, tell me about her. He was like, well, she's a personal trainer. He was like, oh, so she said, so are you attracted to her, or are you attracted to the fact that she's a personal trainer? Well, she got a big butt or something? And immediately when the girl sits down, they start talking about the big butt. And I was just like, okay. All right. And of course, Zadia was like, damn, what the hell? And so, again, I don't even know if that's a valid date. Because like I said, she still want Naeem. So I don't think that anybody walked in the door, she would have given an honest observation to. But at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, this is what I'm gonna say about that whole situation with Naeem and Victoria or Vicky, Miss Valentina, whatever her name is. Let me say this: she need to be, if she's single, she need to be on the next season because they're doing another season of DC, and I'm pretty sure that what they did was they did a 2-for-1. They probably filmed both seasons back to back. And the people from season 2 of Ready to Love DC are going to be the people that they didn't pick for season 1. Okay? Victoria, I hope you on that list because I feel like you would make good TV because she was giving me a whole lot of humor, a whole lot of, she was throwing that shade out there. You had to catch it to know it, right? But she could care less about who Naeem is ending up with because she still want him. That's all I'm going to say about that. I already talked about Dante, Zadia, and Shiloh, but I do want to add a little. No, I did. I already talked about them. So then we had Cornelia. No, I already talked about them. Hold on. Frank. No, I already talked about Frank. It was Walter. I knew it was another situation. So then we had Walter, Sabrina, and Mumin. Now, this I thought was interesting. First of all, Walter's ex, and this is absolutely no disrespect to that woman because I do not know that woman from a hole in the wall. But if y'all think that I believe that Walter and that woman dated, listen, y'all got a better chance of selling me wolf tickets to the Man on the Moon because she don't even look like Walter's type. And I'm not talking physical or whatever. I'm talking personality and spirit. She had these long, crazy ass bright ass yellow nails. Walter just seems like a lot more like, I don't know. She's probably a really nice person. I don't know this woman. So I'm not talking about her personality. I'm just talking about her aesthetic and her style, which isn't bad. It's just not what I thought I would see the type of person that would be with Walter. But you just never know. I mean, I don't know. But neither here nor there. Sabrina showed up, and Mumin showed up. And Sabrina was like, listen, I'm not even tripping. I'm not concerned. I know that me and Walter have a connection. We talk. That's my man. He know where the side of the toast is butter is the side of the toast is buttered. Y'all know what I'm saying, shit. But the way I feel about this situation is She ended up having to leave because she said she had a styling gig to do. And then Mumin left because she said she had a singer engagement. And so both of them left the dates early, and I thought that was interesting. But the whole idea of children came up with Walter, and abstinence came up with Mumin. Now listen, here's the problem. Once again, I'm going to talk about dating with intention. Walter, if you know you want children, and Sabrina has said that's not happening over here, then no matter what y'all's connection is, she's not the one. Again, it is dating with intention. Unless you are okay with not having children, she's not the one, boo. On the flip side, Mumin, Walter, you said that sex is very important to you. You said that that your sex life is very important to you. You said, 50 Shades of Light Skin and all this other stuff. Listen, if sex is important to you and this woman is telling you that her intention is to be abstinent, you have to listen to what her intention is, not hold on hope that that's not what's going to really happen, because that's what Denise said, his ex. Denise said, well, I think that whole abstinence thing, I don't think she mean that. No, that's not fair to her. That you are dating someone who has said, listen, this is what my intention is, and you holding on hope that that's not what's going to happen. That's not fair to her. That's not fair to her. And so I have a problem with that mindset, but neither here nor there. And I'm just going to tell y'all my business. I'm going to give y'all a little bit of my business, and this is why I feel that way. I had an ex-boyfriend who went back and forth and teetered between wanting to be abstinent and wanting to be sexually active. And, our relationship started off one way, and then he sort of had this revelation. So it was hard for me to adjust to going back to that. But, of course, it didn't work. And every time he sort of fell off the wagon, then it was a whole situation. It was a whole spiritual thing. It was a whole, it was a lot. And so it's not fair if you're not where that person is. Because for me, when he got weak, I was like, come on, let's go. Because it wasn't my walk. You see what I'm saying? Are y'all feeling me? Okay, I'm telling too much of my business, but let's keep it moving. So, Walter's ex was saying, listen, I like both of them, but Sabrina seemed like she got a little bit of crazy in her. She seemed like, that she might go around and, you say the wrong thing, she might come at you. And Sabrina is very feisty. I will say that she's got a little bit, she's very feisty. She got a fire in her, And then she said that she was leaning more towards Mumin. And that's when she said, well, because I don't think that they mean it when they talk about they want to be abstinent. Anyway, so the men come back together, and they talk about the dates that they liked and this, and this, and we went through all of that again. And again, here's where I had a problem, because of course when Camille's name comes up, here go Walter. Let's just agree that Camille's name is never going to be on the table. We know that Camille and Cornelius are locked in, and that's just never going to be on the table. That's not fair. That's not fair. That is not what this show is about. That is not the game. I know the game is to make it to the end, but the game is to also play the game. You can't, it's like when you played dodgeball when you was in school. I know we can't play dodgeball no more because we're raising a whole generation. Nope. I'm not going there. I know we don't play dodgeball no more, but remember when you used to play dodgeball back in the day? You had to get in the game to win the game, okay? You couldn't just stand in the corner and hope you didn't get caught and hope you didn't get hit with a ball. You had to run back and forth. You had to try to catch some of them balls and get other people out. You had to get out of the way of that ball because you had to play the game in order to be the last man standing. Camille and Cornelius are hiding in the corner and just hoping that the ball don't hit them. And I don't think it's fair to the people that are playing. Now, that was a long way to go, but y'all got there. So Sabrina's name came up, and Tasia's name came up. Now I'm just going to call it spade a spade. Somebody said this last week. I don't know if they said it in my comments or they said it in my live. But at the end of the day, I really think they kept Tasia around as long as she did so that they wouldn't be accused of just eliminating the BBW, whatever. Because Tasia has made no connections with nobody on this show. So Tasia ended up getting eliminated. Phil went to talk to her, ended up getting eliminated. And again, she still don't get it. In her mind, she was like, oh, I guess y'all just not ready for a strong woman. No, it's not that they not ready for a strong woman. Boo-boo, you ain't make no connections with none of those men. Those men ain't your man. And it just is what it is. Those men ain't your man, girl. But I think she's a really nice woman who really, I think she is ready to settle down and she's ready for love. Just not with none of them men. But then they sent Frank to go talk to Sabrina. And Sabrina pulled a Camille. Like, she was real snappy. She was very much, well, you haven't been calling me and the men don't call me and I've been pursuing these men and these men haven't been pursuing me and I'm sick of it and I'm tired and I was like, what is going on with Sabrina? But at the end of the day, they decided that she was ready to hang in there for another week, and they're gonna give her another chance, honey. And next week they're going away for the weekend, honey. They got them a good Airbnb, probably down in Southern Maryland somewhere, child. Probably when they was in like an hour to 2 hour ride, and we're gonna see what happened over the next probably 2 episodes. They're gonna be down to the Airbnb. We're on episode 8, which is technically episode 7. So we got a good 3 more episodes, y'all. So we're gonna see what happens and how this thing goes. Y'all let me know what y'all think though. Drop it in the comments. Peace.